One. Welcome back, everyone, to Paramystic Podcast with Christina Bloom. I'm your host, Christina, and I am here with my dear friend and wise woman, crone, and I hope you don't take that as an insult because it's meant as
No,
a
I'm in.
compliment. uh, Sheree Meier. And Sheree and I actually just spent the weekend together at an event. So like we're both a little bit exhausted and pumped up at the same time. I started downloading about 45 minutes ago. So the top of my head feels like somebody is playing with it. And I'm not real conscious of anything at this point. So this is going to be a fun episode. How are you, Sheree?
I'm good. I'm good. No, I always tell people I'm in my old crone years. Because you're the
Awesome.
one was that's the reason my hair's purple. Come on.
Yeah, I love it,
When
by
I
the
grow
way.
old, I shall roll purple. So I love it. Old crone years. Love it. Full
Oh,
of
and
wisdom.
it works for you too. It's beautiful.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. I really greatly appreciate that. I know we were this last week we were together and I was saying that being a witch has really paid off. I love being a witch. I'm like, okay,
Yeah,
and open about it. I guess that's the whole
yeah.
thing is being open about it because now I really do have people coming to me and saying in quiet voices, I need to talk to you. It's like, it's okay.
You could
People
talk
know
out loud.
you could talk out loud. People know I'm pagan. People know I'm a witch. I'm okay
Yeah.
about it. I haven't been burnt yet. I'm good. It's all
Not
good.
not this time around anyway.
Not any time around. Actually,
Really
if you go back and
good.
look at the um, Salem witch trials,
Yeah,
everybody that
nobody,
was burned
yeah.
were all innocent people.
And they were all hung, not burned.
And you know what else? I think it
Yeah.
was just, now this is going to sound funny. It was actually a witch hunt to get rid of your partner or your business in crime,
Uh-huh.
your wife, your
It
husband.
was. Yeah.
Like, oh, I don't like this person anymore, so let's just call them a witch and they'll be gone.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
don't know. It's kind of crazy.
It is kind of
But
crazy. I was wrong though. I do want to correct myself because somebody is going to correct me in the comments if I don't. Everybody except one person was hung. One man was crushed with stones.
oh, there's
Yeah.
a good book out there. It's called A Season with the Witch. Cannot remember who the author is, but he went actually to Salem and spent the entire month or 2 months out there getting all the stories and really digging into the history, which was intriguing for me because since I went to Salem and read cards for the month of October in 2019. Yes, people, you could call me crazy because I was.
Mm-hmm.
It was an experience. It was yeah, my spirit guides wanted me to go. It was great. I loved it. I won't do it again. Okay, Salem, don't take this the wrong way, but it was the puppy mill readings. I mean, it was
Mm-hmm.
every 15 minutes you had somebody new in your chair. And I am so thankful that I wasn't doing mediumship when I was out there because
Oof.
that would have killed
Yeah.
me. Yeah, can you imagine doing a mediumship like
I
every
have
30 minutes?
I have done
No.
that. Yeah.
Oh, no.
There have been
Uh-uh.
some events that I've done where it was, I think the most I've done in a single day was 28 mediumship readings.
Oh,
And man, it wiped me out.
yeah. Well,
Yeah.
we've had
For a few
I know
days,
that
actually.
that the trip was great. The thing that I noticed most when I was out there was all the flippin' activity that's going out there. Like, there's a lot of people walking around that other people don't see, you know.
That's
I'm
kind of
like,
what they've built the entire business of the town on,
they
actually.
have, they
Yeah.
have. Um,
It's basically a paranormal tourist trap.
yeah, so my friend Ed
Yeah.
Hubbard, the last time that we were there, which was in 2021, did a giant Ouija board in one of the squares out there. Like,
Oh, I've seen it. Yeah.
I'm like, Ed, Ed, what are you doing? But no, it was fun. An experience. I really honed in my skills in reading, not
Hmm.
that I needed to. I guess I just had to prove it to myself that
Yeah.
I could do it. Um, and it's funny because I wasn't wearing any jewelry. So when people were looking at me and they didn't want to say anything to me, and I said, well, they said, "Are you glad you're here?" And I said, "What witch wouldn't want to be in
Right.
Salem for the month of October?" Well,
Right.
this one now, but
Yeah.
and they said, "Oh, good, you're a witch." We just wanted to make sure because I wasn't wearing anything. I didn't,
Hmm.
people normally can tell that you're a witch because, you're wearing pentacles or pentagram or whatever the case may be.
Hmm.
And I didn't put anything on and didn't do it. It's like, well, sorry, but no, I'm a witch. I really am. Um, been practicing now for probably about 30 some years.
Okay, so I
And
have
I
a
don't even,
question. I have a
yeah,
question. Sorry to interrupt you,
no,
but
that's fine.
how do you define being a witch? Because everyone seems to have a different definition. So I'd like to hear yours.
Yes, and there's going to be a million
Yeah.
of them out there.
Hmm.
I say, so which to me is just an extension of me being a healer. Because if you
Okay.
think about it, witches do the potions and they do spells and everything, or spells or blessings, whatever you want to call them. So I look at it more of a healer aspect of it.
Okay.
Um, with me being a Reiki master and now a medium and a psychic and reading cards. I mean, I really started with a psychic because I grew up in a psychic household. My
Okay.
mom was psychic. All my brothers and sisters were psychic. It wasn't a taboo subject in our house. Ghosts and the paranormal was not a taboo subject in our house. We had a lot of support with that. And in fact, my mom's the one that taught me how to read cards. So, so with the psychic, and then about my 30s, I just religion was just not my bag, and I looked for something different, and I found it, and it was freeing for me. And then I got into Reiki, and I'd already known Christopher Penzick at that time,
Mhm.
his books on that. So when I was told in a reading that I needed to be a medium, and the best way to get there was through Reiki, I found the book, The Magic of Reiki by Christopher Penzick, read it from cover to cover, and I'm like, perfect. It all fits right into my being a healer, witchcraft, mediumship. I'm all good. So yeah. So I do it that way, very nature based. Um, believe in the power of the sun, the moon, earth, wind, fire, water. I live next to a big lake called
Yes.
Lake Superior.
Yes,
Love
you
it.
do. It's beautiful.
This is my healing
Yes.
place. This is my heaven here, I guess. My positive energies where I regenerate, regroove, and it's all good.
Yeah. When I was at your place last year, I just had to go out and hug those trees, the
Aren't
ones
they
overlooking
amazing?
the lake. I just had to go out and hug them.
So the
Yeah.
big one that's the big I love that tree. I'm hoping that
Hmm.
we don't lose it. But that's where my fairies usually are right
Hmm.
there. And then somehow I wasn't listening. So they tapped into Danny and Danny had to call me and had sent me send me a text message and said, "Hey, fairies are trying to get a hold of you. You need to talk to them." I go, "Okay."
Okay.
So I took so here's what I found. I love my fairies, but I found that the fairies really like to talk more when you give them the good scotch. So you bring them out a
Oh,
little shot of scotch, you put them underneath the tree, and then they'll come and tell you everything you need to know, everything you want. They'll help you with wishes. It's great. I love it. Um, but what's happening is, as you know, my property's falling down,
yeah.
and
It's on a cliff kind of
yeah,
overlooking Lake Superior.
yeah,
Yeah.
the lake is slowly eating all that away, and so the
Hmm.
fairies, the fairies go, "We need a new home. We need to move. You need to build it." So I'm building a fairy garden up next to the house. So,
Okay,
but
good.
I'll do that when I get back in June. So it's good. So
Yeah.
my
Yeah.
awesome little fairies out there.
Yeah.
So
I did ask your fairies permission before I hugged their tree. I know better than to not ask permission from a fairy. So,
yeah.
uh, this is, the funny thing is, like, we're having this conversation. It's a very normal conversation in our world. But
uh
I know that there are going to be some people who accidentally find this video and go, what the ever loving hell am I listening to?
A couple of people that love fairies.
A
Hey,
couple people who love fairies and are healers and psychics and You know, it's like I was saying before we started recording that I don't identify with witchcraft only because I don't identify with anything that could be classified as religion. Because I years ago went on a vision quest, and was very clearly told that I am not to commit to one path because my job here is to be willing and able to serve everyone without exclusion.
So funny you should mention
Yeah.
that. Funny you should mention that. So, yeah, I call myself a witch, but that is my spirituality. It's not my
It's
religion,
not a
and
religion, but
it's not a
people out
religion.
there don't know that it's not a religion.
Yeah,
So,
and they don't. That
yeah.
was they don't. Yeah, they don't understand. So
Hmm.
Wicca is a religion. It is an organized religion in the eyes of the United States government, and
Okay.
it has a hierarchy just like all the other religions. And here's the funny thing. This is why I did this so long ago. I don't know. I studied religions in my undergrad. And so I
Mm.
studied Judaism, Muslim, Buddhism, of course, Christianity, and a couple other ones. And I'm like, here's what they all have in common. They all have a book, they all have a higher person, and there's always a structure from low up to the top. And I'm
Hmm.
like, mm, mm-mm,
Yeah, doesn't
no,
work. Doesn't
no,
work
it
for
doesn't work
you.
for me. And and that's the other thing is that not all people who are Wiccan are witches, and not all witches are Wiccan. And so that's
Hmm.
something that we come across a lot. That's the reason why I kind of lean more towards magic user,
Hmm.
because I use the magic of earth and the magic of water and that sort of thing. And
And the
that's what I
magic of
like.
energy, I've seen you do it.
It's all energy. That's why I love it. Everybody has its
Yes,
own
it's
energies.
all energy. Yeah.
It's all energy. But I think that's I talk a lot about spirituality,
Hmm.
and how it's different for everybody. And I was just talking to Terry that I really want to start speaking more about it, but it isn't just spirituality. It's more like life coaching almost, or
Hmm.
almost like doing a philosophy of life. I have a little bit different views on a lot of things. And the thing is that I don't want to change anybody's views, but what I want them to think about is how did they get there? Or
Hmm.
where do they want to be? And, you know, um, I was just talking to my daughter this morning about it. It was kind of funny. So, like suicide,
Hmm.
um, you know, where did we get where did it come from that that's wrong? Where did it come from that it's illegal to do it? Where did it come from, right? Where does it happen? I mean, was it taught to us that way? Was it our culture that brought us that way? Was it our religious upbringing that did that? And I'm not saying that suicide's wrong. I'm not trying to change anybody's minds. I'm just trying to say you need to look at it with uh, open up your eyes and look at the bigger picture.
Hmm.
Why did it happen? Who did it happen to? How could it been prevented? Maybe not. Maybe this is what they wanted to do. Maybe there's this, you know, as we always think, there's our soul's journey and stuff, and there's
Hmm.
lessons to be learned, and that doesn't make it any less painful for people who've had suicides in their life. But to me, it's more of where did we learn it from?
Yeah,
What can we learn from it? And then that sort of thing. And it's every subject under the sun can be approached that way.
exactly. Exactly. Yeah,
And so,
I think for me too, I think, well, we are pretty similar in the way that we conduct our own personal spiritualities, right?
yeah,
So I totally understand what you're saying. You know, spell casting, prayers, intentions, it's all pretty much the same thing. It's
it's all the
it's
energy that you're
intention.
tapping in. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
intention. It's your manifesting.
Mm-hmm.
And people, when you start manifesting, be careful what you ask for.
Because you might just get
Because,
it.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
you know, I mean, yeah, I wanted to talk to ghosts. I wanted to see ghosts. Yeah. Mm.
Mm.
Hello, welcome to my ghost hotel.
Okay, I'm gonna toss another one in there. And again, when I was staying at your home,
Uh-huh.
I was in the kind of the guest annex building,
Yes.
which I think
My
you're
family
sitting in
room.
now. Yeah,
Oh, yeah, it's right over
yeah,
here.
it's right
This
on
is
the
my
other side of
office,
the
but yeah,
wall.
it's on the other side. Yes.
Um, is the first time that I ever actually had one-on-one contact with an alien being, with an extraterrestrial, was at your property.
Oh my God, that does not surprise me at all. But yeah.
Yeah, yeah. That was interesting to me too, because you live in this beautiful oasis that you and Adam have created,
Mhm.
and it is an oasis for uh, the Fae, the humans. I haven't seen a cryptid, but I've only been there once. There's still time. Um, Ghosts, I mean, for the spirit world, and it is just this wonderful hug. I don't know how
Thank
to
you.
explain it. It's a hug. Just being there is a
It's
hug.
I love this place and it's full of positive energy. And I, you know, when I first started seeing all the people walking by and um hearing things and stuff, at first you're startled. Now it's like sometimes I just get annoyed. Like, what do you want now? I don't have time right now. So can you just go wait for me in the building and I'll come over in a little bit. But I don't want anybody to go. I mean,
Yeah.
I've been told I have a portal here, and the portal is for those spirits that don't know that they're dead. And
Okay.
so it's kind of my job and my friend Daryl, who's now my friend Daryl's job, to help them say, hey, look, you're dead. And what do you want to do? Where do you want to go? Let me give you some information that will help you.
Hmm.
Because I think everybody's under the impression that people are supposed to cross over and that's where they're supposed to be. And I'm like, I don't believe that. I believe they have to choose what they want to do. Do they want to cross over? Do they want to well, let me back up a little bit. So I believe that when people pass, they
Hmm.
see everything that they believe in. So if they believe that they're going to see God, they're going to see God. If they're going to see Jesus, they're going to see Jesus. If they're going to think they're going to see all their relatives, they're going to see all their relatives. But then that slowly fades. And what comes in is lots and lots of love. And you start reflecting on your life here.
Hmm.
And it's not looking at the bad things and the good things. It's looking at what you did in this lifetime, just with no judgment. Just say, okay, here's your life. Here's what you did. Then you have to make a decision. Do you want to go back? Because I firmly believe in reincarnation. Do you want to go back? Or do you want to be somebody's spirit guide? Or do you just want to sit back and watch for a while? I'm a big believer in Seth. Jane Roberts, Seth. It's kind of like Edgar Casey, but Seth is a being from the other side,
Right.
and he has a lot of, oh my God, he's got a bunch of wonderful stuff out there. But one of the things he said, there's also higher learning. There's other the dimensions that you could go to and do higher learning, and then come back and help people and do it that way. So it's like,
Hmm.
what do you want to do? I'm
Right.
thinking I want to be somebody's spirit guide. I do know that Tara and I are going to live long enough and well, live long enough. I'm blah. Sorry.
It's okay.
Best friends
Yes.
till we die, and we're going to be best friends after we die, and then we're going to start walking through the walls and scaring the bejeebies out of people.
I actually have a keychain that says that it was given to me by my sister-in-law.
It's like, yeah, we're just walk through
Yeah.
walls and do it. I think I want to have some fun with it. Like, hell, wait,
Yeah.
let me show you what's going on after we get done here. So
Yeah.
yeah.
You thought I was magical before. Sit back. It's going to be a
Oh yeah.
show.
Well,
Yeah.
and don't you get though kind of in awe of some of the stuff that we can do though?
I do. I do. And I think what I'm most in awe of is how many people don't know they can do it.
I, right? But I like.
I feel
You know,
blessed to be able to do everything that I do and to
yeah,
be able to experience everything that I experience. But it is amazing to me how many people are not aware that everyone has the capacity.
they have well, we're here because the big shift's coming and we got to hold their
Hmm.
hands. But
Right,
but I
right.
get in awe like when I do a reading for somebody and they say, "Oh, that's spot on." And I'm like, "Uh, you should know this." But, when people come to you and give you the compliment of like my grandchildren, I love them dearly. My youngest one is going to be a witch. She knows it. She's slowly getting there, but she's always telling her friends, "You have to go see my grandma because she's the real deal. She's a real witch. She's a real psychic. She's a real." So I'm like, "Thank you, honey, but there are other people too. I'm not just the only one on the planet."
Right,
So,
right.
but I get a little taken back, and I'm like, "Really? Just like, thank you. Just gonna
Hmm.
shy away." And I don't want to ever lose that. I don't want to ever lose that you know that
Yeah,
these are abilities that were gifts and gifts to share, and I love doing it.
yeah. I love watching the lights go on when other people start realizing what they can do. Like that's my favorite thing. I love watching the lights go on. I mean, just when I'm doing I do a talk at a lot of different events about personal energy management. I call it
Mhm.
protection because people like the word protection better than management for some reason, but all the same thing, right? But when I can demonstrate to them that they have control over their own energy field, people are blown away. And I'm like, why are we not teaching this from like kindergarten on up or even before that?
I know. So I'm always thinking that we should have like a Harry Potter school, but
Hmm.
it's reading, writing, arithmetic, energy using, apothecary, herbs, all of that, because that is more useful, I think, than anything else that's out there.
Right, right.
And stuff like that. I'm just like, and really I could, because I do have my master's in education, so I could start a school if I needed to. Not
Sounds
sure I'm
like a
ready
lot
to
of
do that
work.
yet. Yeah, I don't know. It's like that might be a little more work than I want to do. But yeah, I get in awe, and I want to stay that way. And
Hmm.
oh yeah, little light bulbs coming on. So we call her my older sister because she's been in the family for so long. She's really my sister's best friend. Her name is
Hmm.
Joni, and very skeptical. And I remember in my very first Reiki class that I was teaching, she was there and very skeptical. And I said, "Nope, you're going to have a breakthrough." And sure enough, as we were doing one of the meditations, she had a breakthrough, came through. And then that I did so much of my first Reiki class, it was kind of funny. So I had people um, see if they could see auras. And it
Hmm.
wasn't even her turn yet. And my sister was up against a white refrigerator. She turned and looked at my sister and saw blue lights and screamed, like, "Oh my God, there's blue lights around you." I'm like, "Calm down. It's okay." And now she has grown so much. So last year she was one of my guests, or she not my guest, but she was one of my speakers talking about animal spirits and
Okay.
stuff. And so she's taken her psychic ability to a whole new hole. I mean,
I
oh,
love
it
it.
just crazy things. So when I'm stuck, I'll go, "Hey, Joni, I need your help." So, so it's
I
kind of fun.
love
But
it.
yeah, from
Yeah,
like really being skeptical to really embracing it and helping others now, it's amazing. Amazing. I love
it
it.
really is. It really is. I have seen so many people who, from that first initial reaction of, oh my God, I didn't know I could do this, to let me help people. I'm here to help people, and moving into their own path. And it's just such a beautiful thing to see our fellow humans recognizing that there's so much more than just human bodies.
She's really trying to help out her daughter because her daughter's very psychic and they live together.
Mm.
And every time I see her, I said, "Are you reading tarot cards yet? Because you're supposed to be reading. You know this." She goes, "No." But she'll sense that there's somebody in her room and she'll go get her mom and said, "Can you get this person out of my room? Just can you tell them to leave?" I'm like, "Okay, whatever." But yeah, it's all
Yeah,
good. It's all good.
yeah, it is all good. That's wonderful. So you, my friend, have a big event coming up. Couple of them.
Yeah, oh, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Two weekends
yeah.
in a row. I can't believe you guys are even attempting that. But 2 weekends in a row, two big events.
No,
Three.
we actually have 5 weekends in a row, three big events. So
Oh,
we've the
wow.
yeah, yeah. So the first place we go is Nebraska Renaissance Festival. So it's really called the Renaissance Festival of Nebraska, located in Papillion, which is basically just outside of Omaha. And that's a Renaissance Festival that runs 3 weekends, and so we're going to be there. Then after that, because of Adams and his mugs that he makes, the
Hmm.
dice mugs,
Yeah.
um, they're big at gaming conventions, and so we're crazy. we're we're driving to Oklahoma City for GalaxyCon.
All right. There you go.
So we're going down there. They've got some big names and stuff coming in, so that's gonna be fun. And then once we're done with GalaxyCon, then we drive back up to Des Moines and do another gaming convention called Des Moines Con. And that one we've been to before. It's another gaming convention. They have people in the past, they've had now I can't even think of their names, but the people that played the Hobbit and his
Oh,
Hobbit's
yeah,
best
yeah.
friend,
Okay. Yeah.
I see his face. I can't see his name, can't get his name, but they were both there. So it's those sort of things, those people that are there that come in. But we have a lot of fun with them. It's different. I tried doing readings there, um, but they haven't caught on yet. They will though.
Okay. They will. They
They
will.
will. They will catch on. And then we have nothing in June. We're not doing any shows in June. Basically because I have some family stuff with some friends that I want to see.
Hmm.
And then Adam's going to start helping out at Spring and Stone's booth to build a new roof so we can join him at his booth at Minnesota Renaissance Festival.
Nice.
So yeah, so we're kind of busy. Um, so June we kind of get off. July, I think we have a couple shows. Then we go to St. Lucia for a vacation at the end of July, first part of August.
Nice.
We want to retire there, so
Yeah.
don't tell anybody. They might
You
not
just
let
you
us
just
go.
told a whole bunch of people.
Like, don't tell anybody. So no, we're going to St. Lucia. We've been there twice and we want to go there. And then we come back and then we do Minnesota Renaissance Festival. Then it's, oh, let's go to another gaming convention. St. Louis, another Galaxy Con. Then it's Paganomicon in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. And then it's Magical Discoveries, the WitchyCon of the North. It's, my show here in my backyard. I so love it. And
Yeah.
I'm getting a lot of positive feedback with it. I got a lot of support and stuff up here. I just love it. Then we have TCCon and then we finish up the year with the St. Paul European Market.
Wow. You two are
Yeah,
busy.
we are.
Yeah.
But we love it. And
That's
it's
awesome.
because sometimes I get tired of the travel, but here's the thing. I love people. I mean, I should have a t-shirt made that says I'm easily distracted by people because I
Yeah.
talk a lot. But I get to meet all these amazing people at all these different shows and I love it. The Renaissance Festival, because I spell Reiki magic with a K, magic with a K, people know that it's a safe haven to come in. So I have a lot of people that come in.
Okay.
And then where spirit comes in, because people come in and they say, I've been told to seek you out. And I'm like, okay. And they start telling me their stories. And they start telling me, you know, what's going on. And I'm like, back of my mind, I'm like, oh, I don't know. Don't know if I'm the right one for you. And then I'll just turn my brain, just start listening. And somehow my mouth opens up and these words come out. And I'm like, where is this coming from?
I
But
know
I help
exactly
them.
what you're saying. Yes,
Yeah,
I know
you know,
exactly what you're saying because I have the same things happen. Yeah.
yeah, spirit just
Yeah.
jumps in, just says, "Here, this is what you're going to say." And I'm like, "Okay." And they go away happy and in a positive mood, and I love that.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it when spirit comes through and tells them something that they haven't told anybody.
Right? Right?
And they're
And they
just
look at
like,
you,
how did you know that? Who told you? No, no, nobody knows that. How did you know that? Well, your grandfather knew it because he just told
yeah.
me, you know.
I know.
So
Yeah,
yeah,
it's
it's
yeah, it's funny. It's like the last seance, the last year at WitchyCon, which is great when the Day of the Dead and you have a seance that evening. It's great.
I know,
Love it.
right? That was a
But
great
when
event, by the way. I was there.
thank
I
you.
know it was a great event.
So when you tell people they because you bring in animals too. And I said,
Hmm.
"Oh yeah." And I started describing her dogs and the colors and what they were doing. And she's now a regular customer, comes for readings and stuff now. And I'm like, okay, I they just told me. I didn't it's like it's not any kind of magical tools. It's just
Right.
it's out there. I pull it in and I give it to you. That's how it works.
Yep, that is exactly how it works. But for people who've not experienced it, that's something that's pretty difficult for them to wrap their head around, you know?
But it's
It's,
also
yeah.
those people that when they do wrap their head around, they like, oh my God, I can do this. This is something we can do. Or like,
Hmm.
she's right. I can trust her. Maybe I can get some guidance. And yeah,
Yep. Yeah.
yeah, I'm excited about it. I'm excited about, so when we were at oh, no, you weren't there. The Metapair Con.
Yeah, no, I wasn't there.
Okay. Um, it was slow, but it was fun. Oh my God. It was so much fun. I had a reading done by River, and the one thing that there's a couple things that came out, but
Hmm.
the one thing he said, WitchyCon is not your only thing, and um, there's other things happening. Of course, then this happens. Like here's other opportunities that are happening.
Yes.
And I was telling Terry, I said, I think I want to start talking more, and maybe I'll start becoming people's special guests. And he goes, "What are you going to talk about?" And I really wanted to do the spirituality thing, but you know what it really is? It's life coaching. It's like helping people
Yeah.
find themselves, find their paths, point them in the right direction.
Hmm.
And the thing that I was thinking about this morning, it's coaching. It's not telling them what to do. It's giving them choices of what they want to do. And
Right.
don't you find in your readings when you have people come to you and they're not happy because they're not doing the things that they want to do because they're trying to live up to somebody else's expectations?
Right. Yes. I get a lot of people like that.
And that's the reason why this life coaching is so important
Right.
because you have to be able to tell the people, you know what? Just because grandpa wanted you to be a lawyer doesn't mean you have to be a lawyer if your heart's not in it.
Yeah.
You know, you're going to have to disappoint grandpa, but he'll get over it. Really, he will.
He will.
He will
He
get over
absolutely
it.
will. Yep.
You got to go with your passions
Hmm.
and what makes your heart sing. So yeah,
Yeah, exactly. And I do
that's
find that my readings, I mean, there's obviously a strong psychic element to it, but it is a lot of coaching and it is a lot of presenting options that maybe they couldn't see on their own. And I think that's something that a lot of people don't understand. Like I've had people say, I don't want to have a reading because I'm afraid of what you're going to tell me. Well, basically what I'm going to tell you is what your options are, and then you can see them more clearly.
yeah, that's the one thing that I always wanted to
Yeah.
tell people is that
Yeah.
a reading isn't telling you your future. It's not going to tell you you're going to die. It's not going to tell, it's not,
Yeah.
it's like, here's a path. Here are the options that you get to go. If you follow this particular path, this is some things that may happen, but,
Hmm.
you know, and I remember one of my first readings in Salem. The lady goes, I knew you were the real deal when I sat down. I don't know this person from Adam. And I said, I don't understand. I looked at her, I said, I don't understand. So the first card that came up, because I do my own layout, I made my own
Hmm.
layout.
I do
So,
too. Yeah.
and my mom used to read 32 card layout. I took that
Mhm.
layout and made it into 10. So the first card that was in there came up and was the 5. I can't remember which one it was. 5 of cups. No, 5 of swords. And it was it that one? The one, anyway, I interpret that card to be like, oh my God, you're still focusing on a loss. You've just had a major loss in your life type thing. I said, so you're still grieving, you're still going through this. And then we went to focus and everything else. And I read the whole reading because I always tell people, I don't need to know. I don't need the confirmation. I
No.
don't need anything. I don't need to know your story. I'm giving you advice. This is
Hmm.
advice. This is you either take it or leave it and things like that. And in the end, well, she started crying. And I've like, okay, I hit a bone somehow where on the line.
Hmm.
Well, found out she lost her husband. And
Okay.
so, she's going through all this stuff and she's kind of struggling a little bit. And the whole card said this, um, she had lost her husband, she was struggling. There was some kind of fighting with the family, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, and I didn't know any of this during the reading. And I said, just take a deep breath, do this, everything's going to be fine. And so, yeah, it was fun. I mean, it's hard when you have to do that, but in the same
Yeah.
token, they trust you because you're seeing the pain and stuff that they're going through and you're
Hmm.
helping them give them options. And I love
Right.
that.
I love that too. I don't know about you, but that this past weekend in Minnesota, I almost everybody I did a reading for was processing heavy stuff. Like there was a lot of trauma release. I kind of felt like I should go back and smudge the whole room when we were done
Um,
because there was so much. But I mean, the healing was beautiful. There was a lot of release. There was a lot of healing that went on. And for me, it was like I had a full box of Kleenex at the beginning. I think there were two left.
no, no, the only one that I really remember, because I don't always remember them. I just don't
Mhm.
remember what's going on and things like this. I've never, because it's not my story, right?
Right.
It's
I
not my
don't usually
reading,
hold on to
and I
that
don't
either, and I
usually
couldn't
remember
tell you
unless
they're
it's really,
individuals, but
unless it's really a powerful reading, and
mhm.
things like that, or one of the ghosts stays with you.
Yeah.
Um,
Which they're not
That's
allowed
silly.
to do, by the way.
Well, he just pops in every once in a while, but that one was a powerful reading. Um, but I had a repeat customer who specifically came to see me. I had done a mediumship for her, and I thought it was her brother, and we were talking, and she didn't know exactly who it was because this person committed suicide and blah 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 and stuff. So she came back and told me who it was. Well, then he pops in, and um, and stuff starts talking. So she'd been sad, really really sad for a long time, and um, by the time we were done, and because of the people that I was working with and I've worked with them before, it was more of a conversation back and forth
Right.
with her with like a 3 4 way conversation. And but she was so much lighter when she left. Like
Hmm.
she went from not smiling to smiling from ear to ear. And that's the one that I remember the most. It was hers. And
Yeah.
she was pretty much the last one. But she was repeat and stuff. And I feel blessed that she wanted to come back and talk to me and tell me
Right.
what's going on.
Yeah. I
So
had a
yeah.
couple of those that had seen me before that came back because
Isn't
I'm
that
only there
nice?
once a year, right? So
Right?
that's when they come back
Exactly.
in. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that was good.
It
No,
was beautiful. But yeah, it was
yeah.
like there was so much healing that went on. And not just with me, but I could see it with other healers, other readers, even other vendors. I could see where there was some healing stuff going on. And I
Well,
just thought it was beautiful.
we were talking about it on the way home because it seemed like this time around in Grand Rapids, Brady
Brainerd.
Baxter, that
Yeah.
that it was more people are coming in and doing readings. They're
Yeah.
doing more readings and stuff and not buying as much merchandise. And what we came to the conclusion of, right, wrong, or indifference, one, the economy. that's
Hmm.
going on and to the economy and what's going on.
Mm.
So people really wanted the readings more because they really needed more answers than having
Right.
material items. And so we went, okay, we got it. We got it. What's going
Yeah.
on with that? So yeah,
The other thing
what
that I
was
have noticed, probably in the last year, as I've been doing different events, is that people are clearing out more of what they already have. So they're not bringing more home. It's like, and some of them are cleaning out what they had and bringing more to replace it because they wanted new energy.
right,
But some of them are just like, I want to downsize. I don't want all this stuff holding
right.
my life down.
Exactly.
And
Exactly.
so, yeah, I can understand that too. And so I don't know that it's just the economy, although that is definitely an aspect of it. But there just seems to be a lot of people who are like, I need to lighten my load.
Yeah, it is with that.
Yeah.
Some of the things because of being a con goer, going
Hmm.
to Gen Con, a lot of different gaming conventions, things like that. Some people are, and even the shows that we do, are
Hmm.
paranormal and our metaphysicals and stuff. And people are like wondering, how is this economy going to affect us and that sort of thing. And so my philosophy is always the positive.
Yes.
Um, but it's also from experience. It's
Yeah.
that people need a distraction, first of all.
Hmm.
And if people know the Nebraska Renaissance Festival is going to be happening. They've already saved money for that.
Right.
And so they may not be able to spend as much money as they would like, but they're still going to go. The same with the gaming conventions. They're still going to go. They need the distraction. Will they spend as much money? Maybe not, but they're at least going to come and they're going to spend a little bit. So
Right.
we're their distraction.
We are,
we're,
but we're
we
also more than that. So yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, we're the ones that they can say the sky is falling, and we're saying, no, we can hold it up. Everything's going to be fine.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly.
So
Exactly.
yeah.
It's interesting because I didn't have any questions about that, about the economy, about am I going to be financially okay? I got no questions about that at all. Everything
Nobody,
that I
no,
had was release, 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 release. Whether it was grief, whether it was old stuff that came up to be dealt with because
yep,
people are
yep.
coming up, they're waking up, I am so tired of saying waking up, but I don't know another way to say it.
There's
You
a,
know,
they're becoming aware. It's the same thing,
becoming
waking up.
aware,
Yeah.
yeah, where people are, they're just more like there's more to life than eating, working, and sleeping.
Yes.
And people are
Yes.
really waking up to that. People are really becoming
Yep.
aware of, I don't want to spend the rest of my time on this planet as a drone going through the same thing every day.
Oh, right. Yeah,
Which I came to many
exactly.
years ago, like you did, because that's why we live the way we live. But
That's why I
yeah,
travel. That's why I
that's why I
travel now.
travel too.
Yeah, it's
Yes.
like I like
Yes.
people. I like to see people. No, I
Yep.
did have one girl. Nobody asked me about the economy. It's more of a conversations between, us and
Yes.
Adam and I and stuff. But I had one girl that came in and had a tarot reading done, and like I look, so I was looked at her and I said, "Are you a mom?" She goes, "Yeah," and I said, "Okay, because it looks like you're going to be a good mom and stuff like that." Well, what I was picking up was she was pregnant. So we talked about this a little bit, but she was also in school. And first thing I looked at her, I said, "You're bored. I don't know what you're doing, but you're bored to death." She
Yeah.
said, "Yeah." But then her big anxiety was that she has a newborn, right as she's going to be going back to school. She didn't know if she wanted to go back to school and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I said, okay, first of all, I'm the old crone. Second of all, I've been in your shoes. So let me give you a little bit of advice.
Yeah.
I said, nothing says that you have to go back. And she goes, well, I'm going to worry that I'm not going to lose interest. I said, if you lose interest, then does that mean you were really interested in the beginning? And so then we talked about because I went to school when I was older, and so
Hmm.
saw a lot of kids at the University of Minnesota that was just wasting their parents' money.
Yeah.
But if you really want to go back to school and you really want to be there, you're going to go. Whether you wait 6 months to return or a year, you're going to go back. As
Hmm.
I think I kind of helped her through like, don't
Yeah.
don't get pressured by other people saying what you have to do. Do what's right for you. And if you want to stay home with your newborn, you stay home with your newborn and then you go back to school later.
Right.
I was lucky enough I got to take Amy to class with me.
Yeah. There you go.
So it's like I just took my sleeping baby with me. It's all
Yeah.
good.
Yeah. That is
So yeah, it's like no,
yeah.
she's just worried about and I'm like, ugh. And you know what the other thing is? It's the what ifs. Of people always people goes, well, what if this? What if I do this? And then what if this happens? Well, then what if I do this? And then what if this happens? Forget it. Just do it. Because we have free
Yeah.
will. We could change our mind. And if this what if doesn't work, you just go to the next one.
Yes. So easy, right?
Yeah, it's
If you
like you
don't
just
like the choice you made, make a different one.
yeah, it's
I mean, there are some choices you can't really change, but most of them you can.
yes, most of you can't like
Yeah.
my cousin wanting to buy a house and she was fretting over it. I'm like, buy the house that you like. Well, I'm going to be stuck in it for 7 years. I go, who told you you're going to be stuck in the house for 7 years? She
Yeah.
says, well, my sister. I'm like, look, look, Becky, find a house that you like. If you don't like it, you can sell it and move again.
Yes.
There's nothing changing. Like, just don't fret it. Oh, it's all
And you
craziness.
know, I don't think I would ever want to buy anything, whether it's a car or a house or whatever, that I feel like I'm going to be stuck in.
Exactly.
You know,
Right.
I
Like,
like being stuck is my biggest fear. Don't get me stuck anywhere. I need to be
yeah.
mobile, man. I need to be able to move. I
Like,
need to be
I'm
able,
like, I'd be
you
stuck with
know.
that house. Like, I'd be stuck with that house for 7 years. I go, why? You could just sell it if you want to. The funny thing, the
Yeah.
words out of her mouth was, really? I could do that? Nothing's, I told her, I said, the average person, when they buy their first house or buy a house, normally it's 7 years that you stay in it. That doesn't necessarily mean you have to.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just kind of, you just don't know.
Exactly, right?
You just don't know. You just don't know. It's like, stop it.
Oh my gosh, that is so funny. That is so
I also
funny.
tell them to use their instincts. Like,
Yeah.
stop with the logic. You could do all the list all the pros and all the cons, and you could have all the pros and all these wonderful pros on why you want to take this new job, but your gut tells you no, don't take the job.
Right. Your gut's telling you no for a reason. That is, you know, it's so funny because I've had people on this show and other shows, and they're like, "Well, I'm not psychic. I do the paranormal research or whatever, but I'm not psychic." And I'm like, "Really? You ever had a gut feeling? Ha, that's a psychic ability."
Hey, it is. It is.
You ever have a
Very much
thought pop
so.
in your head? Oh my God, yeah, claircognizance. That's a psychic ability. And people don't know that they're psychic because they don't know what to call it, or they think it's going to somehow be a different experience than what they're having.
That is.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing that I learned when I was learning to speak to, learning to be a medium with Diet and stuff,
Hmm.
and which I had done all my life and not really realized it,
Right.
was to give up what I expected.
Hmm.
Like, you don't talk to the dead like we're talking. It doesn't work that way.
No.
But I expected that. So I'm like, as soon as I gave up the expectations and said, oh, I'm just gonna let it go, well, then, it's like it's now floods, but it
Yeah.
is. You just have to give up the expectations. And one of the readings I had done, I told uh this reader that I was stuck. And his words to me was, that's your first problem. You can't say that you're stuck because that's what's causing you to be stuck. I'm like, oh, okay. So we went from there.
Manifestation 101.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
careful what you wish for. It's careful what you say. It's
Say,
careful what you
yeah,
think. Right.
yep, exactly,
I mean,
exactly.
it was John Lennon and Bruce Lee said the same thing. Careful what you think. Careful what you say. be positive type thing. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I have another cousin that she's always negative. She wants to know why her life is so rotten. Well, because you're bringing it on yourself.
Amen, sister. Yep. You know, the best way to be really sick and stay that way is to talk about being really sick.
Exactly. Exactly. No,
Hello. Why are you manifesting that? Does that feel good? Like, why are you doing that? Like,
like
I don't understand. But I mean, we all have our own experiences for whatever reasons we have
we do.
them. And I try not to judge, but sometimes I'm like, oh, that's a head scratcher, man. Like, why are you doing that? But
I'm
then I
getting
look at my
better.
past and how many times I've done stuff like that. It took me time to learn.
Yeah. So me, this last weekend. Jeez. So I'm a
Oh,
Reiki master, right?
yeah.
So my hips have been hurting. And I'm like, why do my hips hurt? They just hurt like crazy. I was going to go see Sarah Joe and they were hurting so bad in the hotel. And I said, Sheree, this is ridiculous. So I laid there, invoked my Reiki, started rubbing my hips. You know what? They don't hurt anymore.
How about that?
You know, maybe I should use my talents and my gifts that have been given to me to help me. Oh, yeah. So
But
even
how many of us don't?
I know exactly.
I was talking to
Exactly.
Lee at the event, yes,
Uh-huh.
yesterday, and um, she had her walker and she's walking around and she was like, you could see she was hurting. And she sat down at I wish I could remember her name, the young lady who was sitting next to me, and um, she was sitting on her walker thing that she had, and I walked up, I said, can I give you some Reiki? And she's like, yes, that would be nice. Within 3 minutes, she was tearing up because she's like, I'm a healer, and it never occurs to me to ask for healing.
We're bad. We're so
We
bad at
are.
that.
I'm
We are
as
so bad
I'm
at it.
just as bad at it.
So bad. So
Yeah.
bad. And my husband knows Reiki. Like I can
Yeah.
ask him to help me. He asked me to help him. I was like, that's well, I have shadow work to do. That's part of my shadow work is kind of a control freak and I need to not be. Um, I don't know what happened or where it happened, but putting on WitchyCon and all this stuff, I had to do it myself. Like I had to do it myself. Nobody else was going to be good enough and blah blah. And I'm like, okay, lady, you're done. You don't need to do this. I have a right hand person. I said, here, take this to run
Yes.
with this because I can't do it all. And trusting the people and I'm going to do shadow work to figure out where is that coming from? Why did that happen?
Hmm.
That sort of thing. So I'm kind of looking forward to that. So,
Yeah. Yeah, it is it's wonderful when we can just remember that we don't have to do everything ourselves.
well,
And it's
and
okay that
take,
we ask for help.
and it's okay to tell people like you,
Hmm.
that you have friends in your life. And I feel blessed for
Yeah.
having all those friends in my life.
Oh, me
You're one
too.
of them.
You too.
And
Yeah.
I get overwhelmed sometimes. I get so emotional of all the support and the love and everything that's out there. And I'm like, and I think part of it is sometimes we don't expect it. Like we're saying we're not worthy of it. And that's not true. I'm really learning that that's not true. Like
It's
you can
interesting
accept
because
it.
I have spent years in therapy and with other healers and stuff working on the worthiness issue. And I feel like I'm unworthy. I just don't think of it. Like it just doesn't occur to me to
I
ask for
mean, it
help.
just
It just
well,
doesn't occur to me. And I don't know why. But I
yeah,
don't
see,
feel like I don't
yeah,
deserve it because if someone says, could you use a hand with that? Oh, yeah, I'd love to hand with that. Thank you. But I don't know that it's a worthiness issue. I feel like
well,
I just forget.
it might, and it could very well be for you. So you just forget and like, but why
Yeah.
do you forget? You got to like dig in and say,
Maybe because I'm so used to, I was a single mom. I'm used to doing everything by myself. And it's I think it can be habitual.
yes,
I don't know
absolutely.
that it's necessarily always and forever an emotional issue. I think it can
Right.
be habitual too. Like we're just not in the habit of asking for help, you know? And I have heard, I don't even know how many people throughout my lifetime, I couldn't even guess at the number of people who say, I'm not like other people. I don't like asking for help. I have never heard one adult in my entire life say, I like asking for help.
That's true. Exactly.
I've never
Well,
heard an adult say that.
and I am the oldest out of the six kids,
Okay.
and I'm the one that actually has been helping my family out. And now with all with my mom and dad and my stepmom and all our aunt and uncles, I am the top dog, I guess, in the family right now. So people just still do come to me with that.
Right.
Is it something that I have to do? No. It's something that I want to do? Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
And
it's
that
like
is the
one of those
difference.
things.
That
Yeah,
is the
it is
difference.
different. So it might be part of it is like I've just taken it on. Now I help them. I am not the caregiver my sister is. My sister is the caregiver. She's a caregiver through and through. Oh, some of the stuff that she's been through, I'm looking at her like, how do you do it? And she's my rock.
Hmm.
And so if she falls apart, I'll fall apart, but I'll be there to help pick her up.
Help put her back together again. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah,
That
so
is
it's like that's kind of
interesting.
crazy, but yeah,
Yeah. Wow. This has been a really great conversation. Thank
it
you.
has.
Thank you. We're at an hour already. Can you believe that?
Yeah, it's I like people. I have the gift of gab. My
I
mom
do
gave that to
too.
me.
Yeah.
I love it.
I like
It's
people too. People like, how do you like people? I prefer animals. Okay, I like animals too, but I like people. So,
because
yeah.
they're intriguing.
Mm,
Don't you find them intriguing?
I
And
do.
sometimes, so I like to play a little story, and then we can finish. So
Okay.
sometimes, because I like people, and I like to, when I look at people, I sometimes like to guess what they do, or I like to tell a little story. So one time I saw this really big dude, like almost a bodybuilder, this tiny, really cute little girl, really dressed to the hilt, and this guy in a suit. And so I said, those two, that's their bodyguard. They're some kind of rich people, blah, blah. They're just trying to do this. Turns out the cute little girl and the big dude were together, and the other one was their real estate agent. But it's fun,
It
it's like,
is
hey, let's
fun.
build these stories.
People
So,
watching
yeah.
is one of my favorite things.
Oh, yeah. I love doing it. It's always good. Oh, within that note,
And on that note, yeah, how do people get a hold of you? Make an appointment or find out about events or whatever?
actually, they can go to reikimagic.com. Um, I have a scheduling system out there for taking
Okay.
appointments. I have out there all my services so far there. Facebook, which is, well, it's Reiki Magic 57, I think, on Facebook if
Okay.
you type that in, or you can find it under Sheree Johnson Meier. You can find me that way, and then I can lead you to my page with that. And so those are the two big resources. Well,
Okay.
Instagram, which I'm Mystic Sheree on
Okay.
Instagram. So
Okay.
I switch between witch, magic user, mystic.
Right. Right. I got you.
Like
I
to change
got
it
you.
up a bit. But Reiki Magic has all the information for WitchyCon. It has all my services on there. It's a great place to go. And then it gives a link over to the products that we do. And so it's
Okay.
all good.
I am going to put in a plug for WitchyCon because of
Okay.
your theme this year.
I love the theme.
I know. And the theme is
It's called Labyrinth, Finding Your Path and Power. And it's really based on Jim Henson's the movie The Labyrinth. Yes, the one with David Bowie.
hmm
Um, because that's what Sarah was doing when she was trying to find her baby brother. She was finding her path and her power and trying to get away from the Goblin King. So
Yep,
it's gonna be fun.
absolutely. So yeah, the Labyrinth theme WitchyCon, that's going to be really cool.
It's the Halloween ball at night is gonna be cool because we're fashioning that after the ball in the movie. So that will be
Excellent.
fun. So yeah.
Excellent. That will be fun. Thank you again, Sherry. This has been a blast. We should do it again.
Yeah, we should. Well, I love talking to you anyway. I
Yeah.
love giving you hugs even more, but
And we always have fun when we're together. It's
we
always a
do.
good
We
time.
do.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. I
You're
really appreciate
welcome.
this.
You're
Alrighty.
welcome. Thank you. And thank you everyone for listening. And if you want to get a hold of Sheree, you know where to find her. My stuff is always at christinabloom.com. You can find me there. And I'm also on all of the socials except X, I think. So you can find me pretty much everywhere else. Everyone have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you next week. Bye.